Thursday, April 20th, 2023. Welcome to All Horse Racing All the Time. I'm your host, Al. I'm here with some Keeneland picks today. It's a 9-race card today. It looks like a tremendous card. I've been through it. I've done the work. Here's the thing. I planned on going live today. Maybe I still will. I don't know. It turns out I have to be out a little later this morning. But I put in a lot of work, as usual, on the card, the entire card. And just in case I'm not back in time for a live show, I wanted to give you something, get you something out there, get some picks out there for you to work with for those of you who are interested. So I still might be back in time to go live, but it looks a little iffy at this point. And so I'm going to give you my selections. I've been through the card. There are 9 races. There are some races that look really juicy, so I definitely didn't want to put these picks to waste. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go through all 9. And I'm going to give you the first horse I give you is going to be the one to use that I like to use in exotics. Even if it doesn't win, I figure it's one that got to be involved somewhere. So definitely consider it for multi-race plays. None of them are just ones to use strictly underneath. These are ones that can be used on top as well, but they can also be used in exactas, trifectas, etc. So we're going to go through it. I'll try and go through this as quickly as I can, but I will give you a little bit of details, definitely about my main contender, but I'll also give you other ones to use that should be our exotic contenders as well, that also have a chance to win or be part of the exotics. So the same thing. The horse I talk about first is going to be the one that I definitely like in there somehow, some way that, I wouldn't leave it out. Personally, I wouldn't leave it out. So let's get started. Race 1 at Keeneland. I'm going to go through these and let's get going. I hope you, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Thanks for watching and good luck today. And even if you're not playing, have a great day. Okay, race 1 at Keeneland. Now, I don't see the number 1 losing. It just has the pace edge. Number 1, Dial Her Up, opens at even money, has Irad Ortiz on board. If Irad doesn't get it done on this one, man, there's something wrong. It looks like the standout by the numbers and opens at even money. And the only other one that I could see with a chance is number 2, Lady with a Cause, opens at 5-2. I guess this one, it just is behind the 8 ball, and the numbers are nice, but considering the pace, number 1 is making its second start, so I'm even looking for improvement there. It has the pace edge. I see 2 for second. I see a 1-2 exacta here straight, and I know 6 is listed at 4-1, but I just see a 1-2 straight here. And just get it in the books and go from there. Okay. That's it. I can't go any further than there. I could see this exacta paying $7 for $2, but maybe it's the easiest 2 or 3-1 you get on your money. So in race 1, I like number 1 and 2. Unless something really goes wrong with the 1, maybe you can include the 2 for the win spot as well. But I don't think it's necessary to go even that far, spreading too deep here. So race 1, I like number 1, Dial Her Up. All right. Now in race number 2, it's one of these all first-time starter affairs, wide open. I won't go as far as to say it's wide open. In race number 2, I like 8. It's the Wesley Ward first-timer, very expensive American Rascal. Number 8 opened 6-5. That's the one I like best, but in these first-time starter events, I would be inclined to spread it out a little bit. And not much, though. I wouldn't go crazy with this. This would either be a pass race or I would use these 3. And I don't think I'd go as far as I'd use these 3 on top and maybe spread otherwise underneath, but either a pass or I'd use these 3. I like number 8, American Rascal, at 6-5, Wesley Ward and Rosario. And the other one I'm going to look at, the other 2 that I would consider as possible threats, number 1, Coase, opens at 9-2. First of 40 bullet workout at Keeneland, 46-2, folks. And Wayne Catalano, Jonathan Lusbury. Catalano does win early, and he gets the rail, and that workout is just eye-popping. And it was right here at this track, first of 40, 46-2. And the other one, I'm going by the workouts here more so, and a combo of that with the trainer that can deliver first asking. And the other one I like besides the one is 5 Core Kinetic, open 6-1. Now I showed Declan Carroll finally broke through here with a win. He has 8 starts in the meet, a first and a second. So, but here's what I like about number 5. Number 5, get these workouts. April 15th, 3rd of 39 for 35-1 for 3 furlongs, and a bullet before that, 1st of 19, 35-1 again for 3 furlongs. So it's working. Lightning fast inside, out of Nyquist, who of course has Uncle Mo as his sire. So number 5, Core Kinetic. Race number 2, one I like best. Number 8, American Rascal. But I would use this race for multi-race plays if playing it at all. Number 8, and also consider number 1, Cows, and number 5, Core Kinetic. Now we'll go through to number 3 here. Maxwell House today. Excellent. Okay, race 3. Let's open it up. Okay, this is a turf race, race number 3. Let me bring these up here. It's a mile on turf. Looking at my notes. Okay, it's a turf race at a mile. We got some firsters in here, but I'm going to focus on ones with experience. They look like standouts. One I like best is not favored, actually. Number 8, Camilo. Makes its second start. I'm looking for improvement. Johnny V up opens at 7-2. It's the fastest one with turf experience. The speed figures, it got stuck running a little bit wide, so you could make the speed figures that you're looking at on your Brisnet or whatever boosted a few points. And improvement second time out. It ran at 1 1/8, and might wind up being the pace here. So I think it's going to enjoy the turn back to a mile. Gets Johnny V up for Jonathan Thomas, who's very strong second time out. Oh, nearly 40% second time out, and it's not favored. And it fits this race, even if the speed figure looks a little bit slow. Look for Johnny V to finally win something here, and this would be the one that he does it with. And the other ones I like, so I like number 8, Camilo best. Number 1, that Now That I Can Rock. That one is another one. It comes off it ran a little bit wide, should save ground inside. And I know it's stretching out, but based on its last performance, I think it's a player at 10-1. Okay. And the other one I'm considering here, number 2 with Joe Talamo up. This is another one stretching out. They're making its second start. I'm looking for some improvement. Joe Talamo up, number 2 Purse, and that's also a bit of a price, 8-1. Can you beat this? And last but not least, number 5, Right Off Jerry. Now this one probably is the fastest one of all to date. Has tried 4 times, gets Irad Ortiz, has run all its races on Tapeta. It keeps moving forward. I think it's a fair favorite based on its races so far. But it has never run on the turf. So I like number 5 as well. But number 8 best in the 3rd, followed by 1, 2, and 5. And I don't even think 5 is exactly a lock for 2nd, but it can win. What I would do here, maybe I'd use an exacta 8 over these 3, and then flip it, those 3 over 8. But I would definitely get 8 involved either way, no matter what type of exotic you play. If I was going to toss one for the pick 3, Maybe you don't want to put the 2 on top of the 8. The 1 and the 5 are the ones that I think that have the 1 and the 5 are the ones that have a better shot to upset the 8. So I would use 1, 5, 8 in pick threes, etc. And I'd be more inclined to use 2 underneath these, no matter how you play it. But number 8 is the one I like best in the third. And we'll go forward. We'll go to race 4. All right, we're moving along pretty good here. Hope everybody, Friday's almost here, folks. Could see it on the horizon. Race number 4. Race number 4. Let's bring it up. Been through the work. I don't want to put these picks to waste. And you're going to see why when we get further down the card in a few minutes, hopefully. Race number 4, mile and 16th. I just can't get past the number 9. It seems to have run the best races. It's moving in the right direction. It's the claiming race, 30K. Keith DeSomo trained, but it seems to be getting better. I know the last race it got stuck running very wide, but he should be able to get the job done here. And I think this one is just flat out impossible to leave out. And it's not, and it's the second choice. Number 9, Jeeper. Number 9, Jeeper opens 5-2. And the other one that I think is one that must be used, I would probably just box these for the exact. I would think it gets very cheap. I would, or just use 9 on top and maybe use some of the others if you could look around. But I think this, for multi-race plays, you can get this done with 7 and 9. The other one I like is 7, Hoko, opens 9-5. Irad Ortiz. I think that's the only reason why the line maker is giving, and it's lightly raced. Comes from Tampa for Kelsley Danner, who wins over 30% with Irad. So it's going to take money. So I think you're going to get a fair price on 9, Jeeper. So in race 4, excuse me, I like 9 best, and then followed by 7. If you want to box those two, I think it gets it done. Probably be very cheap. I can't go anywhere past those two. I think this race is better for multi-race plays. So race 4, 9 best, followed by 7. There's 9 races today. And now we go to the 5th race. This is probably the most difficult race on the card, but it's very, very interesting. In the 5th race, now I'm not saying this one's definitely going to win, but I think it's one they have to use, maybe even crush it in a show play, anything. But I'd include it in there with others, and it's a spread race. Number 6, Retail Therapist, in race 5. Let me tell you about this one. You're going to like this. Look at the race it ran 3 back at Woodbine. I know it's 7 furlong. It's a 5.5 furlong turf sprint. Trainer is solid. Eric Reed, Florent Garreau up. Opens 20-1. The race 3 back. Now, it raced 3 back on turf. It was 7 furlongs. Okay. And the last race is to Peter. I'm going to throw that out. The race before that was a mile and 16th. Now this one gets back to sprinting. And this race, a repeat of that race, likely gets it done today. Number 6, Retail Therapist. So keep that one in mind. You got the trainer, you got the jockey, and you got this big turf race 3 back. Even the race 5 back on turf, where it won at 7 furlongs, good enough. Now it's got to do this a little bit shorter, 5.5. But I just can't ignore that race 3 back. Makes it a big player at a big price. And the other one, Lost My Sock, has been off for a while, but it's been running in Stakes Company. And this is another one, last race, and even the race 3 back fits. It's not much of a price, 4-1, but definitely a contender. And number 4, Stella Teresa. This one gets Declan Cannon up. The numbers look light, but in a sprint, this one has a gigantic pace edge and opens at 20-1. So you got 4 there. Definitely consider. Maybe it hangs on at a price, but the 7, the 4, you got 2 20-1s here. And the other one, 7, that I like, is another 20-1 shot. Massard gets Julian Leperoux up, made its first turf start, came in 6th, running 3 wide at 5 furlongs. but only lost by a length and a half. If this improve, it's right now already, it looks fast enough to compete at a big price. And if it shows some improvement second time on the turf, could win the race. So you got 320 to 1 is in here that I'm talking about. I think you got to use all four of these. The 4 may be a little less, because the numbers are a little weak. But one's 6 and 1 and 7. But 4, who knows? Maybe it steals it. And the other 2 that I consider a bit, believe it or not, the favorite. These others, 9, Peach Cobbler, the favorite. Yeah, maybe you want to use it, but these others, if they run their race, they can beat the 9. Maybe not the 4, but the 1, 6, and 7 can. But 9, Peach Cobbler, and I'm looking at another one, number 5 a bit. It's been running on Tapeta, but the last race at 6 furlong at Turfway Park, March 30th, if he runs that race here on turf, 5 is a player. 5 can get it done. And that one opens 6 to 1. So to summarize, race 5 here, 6 must use. You got 3 bombs in here. How you play it? How would I play it? I don't know. I listed 6 entries. Maybe you go the box, a 4-horse box. So you check the board. Keep an eye on it. Make sure you're getting fair prices first of all, because maybe these horses don't go off at 20 to 1, especially not the 6 or the 7. The 4 maybe. But the other ones, yeah, how you set it up, I'm not 100% sure how I'd play this yet, depending on how the race is unfolding, what the board looks like. But again, in the previous race, I only had 2. I figured you could narrow it down to 2, maybe even 1 with that 9 or 7-9 if you use both. You might open the door here for a big payout. So race 5, summarize, I like number 6. Definitely to use. A win candidate? Yeah. If it runs the race 3 back, for sure. But 6, and the other ones to consider, 1, 4, 5, 7, and 9. 1, 4, 5, 7, and 9. 9, the favorite, very, 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 very vulnerable. So take a look at that. Keep an eye on that 6, and also especially that 4 and the 7. You got 320 to 1 shots, all of them with a shot here. Now we'll move on to race number 6. Okay, I got to open up some new PPs. I'll open up the last 5. Let's crack it open now. We don't want to leave you waiting. Now, race number 6, this is a 6.5 furlong race. I landed on number 3, believe it or not. It's not the favorite. 3 is Nifty. It's 2 for 4 at the distance. Comes off some nice races. and the favorite, number 4, Devil's Tower with Irad Ortiz. Yeah, it's won 3 straight. It's looking really good, but not tested at the distance. Number 4, Devil's Tower. And all those 3 races have been won on a wet track. And Devil's Tower, just to emphasize this wet track angle, 5 of its 6 races have been won on a wet track with 96 high Brisnet. Whereas on a dry track, its highest Brisnet is 89. So number 3 has a beat there. 4 seems to be a wet track specialist, and all 3 of those big numbers were put up on a wet track in all 3 of those victories. Gets Irad Ortiz, so it's still going to take money, but that's why I'm going to lead with number 3 here. Nifty looks very solid, 2 for 4 at the distance, comes off back-to-back wins at Sam Houston, 92, 94 Brisnet number, and Brett Calhoun, a 20% trainer with Gutierrez up. So I like 3 best. And the other 3 to use, 2 comes off a very impressive race. The thing is going to be handling the turn back, but I can't overlook the last race, winning with a 90. This is another one that won 2 straight. Summer Splash opens 8 to 1, and the other 2, of course, I'll use the favorite, number 4, Devil's Tower, and the other one I like is number 8. Number 8, Tilted Towers. Big early speed. It won its last race at Hawthorne, and this is going to be a stretch out, but I expect this one to be winging it on the front end. So those are the four I like best. But a tentative three, maybe I'd key three first, and then again I'd key three second in trifectas with these other three, 2, 4, 8. Would I go as far as to single three? I don't know. Would I spread four deep in multi-race plays? I think all four of these have a shot to win, but I like three best, but I wouldn't hang my hat on it and depend solely on it to win. I would get the others involved. I'd key three in first and second and go from there. So, but number three, I like number three best, 2 for 4 at the distance, and race number 6, nifty. Now we're going to move on to race number 7. Again, maybe I will get out, be back in time to go live later. I wanted to get you something, especially look at the 5th race with those 20-1 bombs that are all live. So let's move on to race 7. Race 7, 1 mile and a 16th on turf. I think this has the opportunity to be a good one, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, this I really don't even like the favorite in this race, race 7. Telling you. I like number 2, Kapuna. Now, this one is another one. I'd probably go the 4-horse box in this race. I like number 2, Kapuna. The last 2 races, the concealed numbers, very quick early. Never ran on turf. But comes off 98, 94 Brisnet, 92, 93. It's won 2 out of the last 3. Even the race 4 back, it finished 3rd, 4 back with 93. And it does have turf breeding in there out of hard spun, Malibu Moon on the dam side. Now, the last a couple of numbers are too quick. It's early speed type, and it's 1 mile and a 16th. And we know it can handle the distance. It's run this distance on dirt the last couple of races and put up big numbers. 98 Brisnet last race. And making its first turf start, but it's too quick to ignore. And so I like 2 best. I mean, if it takes to the turf at all and comes anywhere close to what it's been doing, it should win Kapuna, and it opens at 5-1. The other one I like is number 1, Dominican Pioneer. Has the speed edge. Goes for Wesley Ward, wired the field last time, gets Johnny V today. Johnny V probably, he should have a chance to break through today, especially in the earlier turf race. But this one is a contender at a price. Dominican Power, Pioneer, opens 12-1, keeps getting better, has won 2 straight. Okay, and another one I'm going to go to, number 4, Tiberius Mercurius. Now, this is another one. It has done some turf running. It won its last race on Tapeta, but it has back turf races that are fast enough. Let me just double check. Fast enough to win. There's a race at Saratoga last August. A big player at a price. Number 4 gets Irad Ortiz from Michael Maker. And 4 opens 10-1 with Irad Ortiz up. So I like 4 as well. And the other one, see, these are prices. I think this was a 4-horse. I'd do the 4-horse exacta box here. Would I go as far as a trifecta? I don't know. But number 4, Kitten set. 6 opens 10-1. And I'll tell you about this one. I mean, it has a nice turf race at a stakes level, 3 back, but the races on dirt have been even faster. I know he's run a little wide sometimes, so another one with concealed races gets Walter Rodriguez up, a 15% jock for Paulo Lobo, and those 2 together are 50%, 2 for 4. But I like the turf race, 3 back in a stakes. Was gaining late at 1 mile, so I think the 1 mile and 16th works. And that's okay. Ran first, third, 6th on the dirt at this distance last race. But it finished only 3/4 back of a length back in a blanket finish. So already the turf race is competitive, 3 back. It finished 4th by a 1 1/4. But prior to that, it had won 2 straight. I think 6 is a contender. These are all win contenders, folks, at a price. And I like these all better than the 7. If you want to get the 7 in there, Okay, throw it in the mix if you're going trifectas, etc. Maybe even exactas because it has back races. But these other ones have been running faster. It comes out of G3 company, so I think you maybe want to get the 7 in there. Maybe you want to do something with these 5, but I think 2 is a real interesting one to use as a key in here at a price in multiple spots at a price, and because you got other prices in there as well. So the ones I like really, number 2 for race 7. Let me bring up the names. Number 2, Capuna opens at 5-1, and the other ones to consider at prices: number 1, Dominican Pioneer, 12-1. Number 4, Tiberius Mercurius, 10-1. Number 6, Kitten Set, 10-1. And then the favorite, number 7, 7-2. No lock, but yeah, maybe you get all 5 in there somehow. Do you want to set up supers, or do you want to set up tries and pick the ones you like least? Maybe use those only underneath and lead with the others. But I definitely would get the 2 keyed in there, first, second, or maybe you want to do a box or a key at third. I think you get the try done out of these 5, but 2 is the key player in here. Number 2, Capuna. 2 really big dirt races making first turf start. All right, let's go on to the 8th. Race 8 of 9. Race number 8, mile and an eighth. Okay. Mile and an eighth on dirt. Very hard to move past the 1 here. Vittorio with Irad Ortiz. They're giving him good ones today. Mott Williams comes out of G3 company. And by the numbers, it's no lock. It's no lock, actually. I like the race 2 back. Okay, definitely one to consider. Seems to run second. I like the race 2 back, but there are others in here to consider as well. You get Irad Ortiz from Mott Williams, and I just wanted, I believe this. I just want to double check something on the pace end of this. It has the big pace edge. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it's a lock. I think this one's going to jump out there on the front end. So yeah, it's a fair 6-5 odds, but it's not a lock. There are others in here. It could be the lone, could wind up being the lone speed, but number 2, there are others in here to consider as well. So the one I say you got to use based on the pace and the race 2 back, where it ran 100 buyer figure, and even the last race 95. Number 1, Irad Ortiz, Vittorio. Open 6-5. Yeah, it's the one to beat. But the other ones in here that have a shot is number 2, Time for Trouble, opens 20-1 with Joe Talamo. Now, okay, let me bring it back. Let's bring it back, folks. The last 2 races on turf, didn't like the turf at all. But look at the race it ran at Churchill Downs 3 back, won by 1 3/4. Ran a very fast race. There's another one got stuck wide there. And 2 comes in at 20-1 and is a contender. If somebody decides to press or definitely a threat underneath, I definitely use it underneath in any of their plays. Number 2, Time for Trouble. And the other one who I see having a shot here is number 6, Cookie Creek. It's the second choice. It ran a nice race last race. It's no lock for second, though. Not by any stretch of the imagination. That's one of the things I like about this race, because the 2 definitely, its last dirt race, is fast enough to beat number 6. But 6, very impressive last race, finished second last race at 1 mile and 16th. But number 8, Curbstone, I think that one has a shot. Look, it has won 3 out of 4 with a second, and its last race at 1 mile and an eighth this distance ran gigantic. It ran an 86, faster than another deal where This one got stuck running really, really wide, needs to straighten it out, but it keeps getting better. Number 8, Curbstone. And that one opens at 6-1, and it ran a 96 3 races back. So, in summary, race number 8. Yeah, I like one best, but I think, can it be upset? Unlikely. But you got a couple of pricier ones underneath in Curbstone and Cookie Creek. Time for Trouble, the 20-1 shot, and Curbstone 6-1. You get the 20-1 under the 6-5. Yeah, it's going to pay something. Curbstone and Cookie Creek, not so much. But I think Curbstone, Thomas Marley, that's Maggie Wolfendale's husband. Is definitely a player in here underneath. So the 4, I like number 1 best, 6-5 favorite with Irod, Vittorio. But the other contenders I see in here, in case this one, Vittorio, doesn't get it done, I like 2, 6, 8. And if I had to play a try and I could only use one on top, I'd go 1 over 2, 6, 8, 2, 6, 8. You got some prices. Look for Joe Talamo in there. That race 3 back, good enough to get it done there. Get a piece of this. Okay, and last but not least, certainly not least, is 9. 9's another good race. I'm telling you, I looked these over. I had to get something out there just in case I'm not back in time to go live. So I don't want these going to waste. I worked a few hours on this stuff. Okay, at number 9, race 9. Now, this is before scratches. I'm not going to get a chance to hang in here, stay here until the scratches come out. So you may have to make your adjustments after the scratches come out. So be on the lookout. And when the scratches come in, make sure you check the pace. How does the scratch affect the pace of the race? Does the complexion of the race change with the scratches? Make sure, because one scratch of a big speed or one of your horses can change how you want to play things. Okay, now race 9, I'll talk about this one. Race number 9, I like this race. Okay, we got some firsters in here, but I still like it. It's 1 mile on turf. And I landed on number 4 here in race 9, and I'll tell you why. And number 4 is a 15-1 shot. I've told you this is good. Number 4, Forge in Fire. Brian Lynch trained. Now, this is one, again, we talk about those concealed speed figures. Boost it up. Whatever your buyer figure is, whatever your Brisnet figure is, boost it up. This one ran 4 wide, 4 wide, 4 wide. Julian Leperoux makes its second start at a mile. Okay, so the same distance. Look for improvement second out, and look for Julian to straighten this one out this time. Okay, definite upgrade from Perez up. So Julian will probably get this one in gear. It should save some ground inside its closing type. And all considered, this one is a win contender at a big, big price. And that is number 4. And this might be another 4-horse box here. If you're even for the exacta players considering this Forge on Fire. Forge on Fire, number 4, 15-1. And the other one to consider, get this, number 7, Sherlock Jewel. It's another one. Ran 2 wide, goes for Shug McGahee with Louis Saez up. Ran a solid at Kentucky Downs. I know it's been laid off for a while, but Shug brings him back after the long layoff and does well. 18% over 3 months off. And this one comes back in finished second at Kentucky Downs at this distance. Sherlock Jewel, Louis Saez, Shug McGahee, fast enough to win, opens 12-1. So right away, we got 2 bombs here. Now I'm going to go down to the favorite, number 10, Cyber Ninja. Yeah, Irad Ortiz, William Mott. That's why it's taking all the money, or that's why it's opening at such low odds, 5-2. It's right around there with the 4. As 4 is, when push comes to shove, it's almost equal with the 4 and the 7 as far as speed goes, based on the last race, considering ground loss, etc. But this one has never run on turf. and gets Irad Ortiz. It opens as the favorite, and okay, it looks like it has turf breeding, so it does fit the race, turf breeding or not. But it's right there. It's right there with the 4 and 7, those three. If I had to box three, I'd box those three. If that one opens at 5-2, look at the difference. What if it doesn't take to the turf? What if it has trouble from the outside? I would never use the 10 as a single in this race. And the other one to consider is number 5. Two decent turf efforts for Victoria Oliver, and gets Belgerano up. 12% jock, 10% here. And Victoria Oliver, a little bit light. With Belgerano, she's 11%. The race 2 back really interests me. That Ellis Park back in August. But the race back in March, it ran well. Second, only 2 1/4 back. It ran pretty good. And this another one got stuck a little bit wide, but this time is inside. So I'm looking second off the layoff here. Oliver, Victoria, is 12% second off the layoff. And I think this one could jump forward fast enough to perhaps deliver a win here too. Is a win contender. In number 5, St. Neots, opening odds on that, another one 10-1. So yeah, I like 4 best to improve second out. Forge and Fire at 15-1, definitely a win contender, and all 5 of these are win contenders. Yeah, so I would probably use them all in multi-race plays, but if I had to use just 3, I'd use 4, 7, 10. Based on the connections, even the jocks. Leperoux on the 4, Saez on the 7, and Irad Ortiz on the 10, or spread. But do something. A 4-horse exacta box is not out of the question with these. Now, I know number 9 opens 5-1 here. And I mean, it's a contender too with Johnny V and Neil Drysdale. It did its better races at the sprint at 5.5. Balthazar, I really see the others beating that one, coming ahead. I think the others all have a shot to come out ahead. I just want to check one thing on the pace there of Balthazar. And Balthazar is going to have to close. And there's some other firsters in here too. So you may want to check those out. You know, from what I saw of them, I was not impressed. One opens 30-1, number 1. 2 opens 20-1. You got Florent Garreau on the 2 at 20-1. The works are not really the last couple of works are okay. Turf breeding, I prefer the others with experience better here. Look the firsters over, see if the 2 takes starts taking any money. But these are the 4 I'd use, and I definitely consider boxing here with these prices, especially since the favorite number 10, Cyber Ninja, has never run on the grass before. But my main player to use in exotics here, even if it's a big show bet, make sure you're getting prices. Watch the board. If these get bet down to 5-2, man, you may want to think things through. So watch the board, etc. And get glance when you're in the 8th race, for example. Look what the daily doubles are paying in the 9th. This way you get an idea who's going to be taking money. Take advantage of the board. The board is like your crystal ball in exactas and daily doubles. So race 9, number 4, Forge on Fire. That's my key player to use. A must use, but the others as well. Number 7, Sherlock's Jewel, 12-1. Another that you can't leave out of the mix. And number 10, and number 5, number 10, the favorite, Cyber Ninja at 5-2, and 5 a little bit. I like 5 a little. St. Noet's 10-1. Yeah, maybe you want to box all 4 for even the exacta if the payouts look right and they don't make sure that you're getting money back in all the combinations. So there it is, 4 best in the 9th, and the others to consider 5, 7, and 10, especially 7 with Saez, Sherlock's Jewel, 12-1. Okay, got the picks together. Let me compile this and get this out there. I'm going to try and get back. I can't guarantee I'll be back in time for a live show, but I got you something here. Wanted to put this. I didn't want this work to go to waste. Okay, I didn't expect to be having to head out a little later this morning, not much later. I got to get this out there now, but I didn't want it to go to waste. And as you can see from the prices and what I had to say about these horses, they give you some good opportunities today. This card is too good to waste. I like what I'm seeing. Check those scratches. And again, be prepared to make adjustments for scratches if need be. All right. So listen, if you're playing today, ice water in the veins. Ice water in the veins. You don't want to let your emotions get the best of you. You want to be playing with a clear head. Win, lose, or passing on the race. You want to be on the same page emotionally, no matter what the outcome. And if you do lose a race, don't fret about it. Just move ahead. There's always another race, and all it takes is one. So good luck today. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Talk with you soon. Hope to be here later live. If not, hey, I got you started here. Let's get it done today. Have a great day. Best of luck and win big.